All right, so the sequence is coming along, and as you can see, I've made a few more edits since the point that we were at in the last movie, and we're in pretty good shape, but I think there are a few shots that we need to move around, which is what we're gonna do in this movie. All right, so I'm just gonna play this for you so you can see where we're at.
When it comes to letterpress, I get giddy and excited.
Letterpress doesn't look like anything else. It's amazing.
Letterpress just has a look and feel that you can't get any other way.
And when you do things that people get their hands on, and they're like, wow, how did you do that? And then they come in and see that you did it on a machine built in 1932. It just blows their mind.
I love that I know there's going to be a printed piece at the end that my client can touch and feel.
If someone's on the fence about digital versus creative letterpress, there is just no comparison. If you care about the product and you care about the quality of it and the uniqueness of it and having something that's artistic and that will stand the test of time style-wise, you cannot go wrong with letterpress. You just can't.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking. I'd like to switch a couple of these. I'm thinking that I want Kelly to come before Doug, so I just want to swap these shots so that Doug can set me up by talking about blowing clients' minds, and then Anita's a client, so I think that'll work well. Also, I think I want to create some space between all of these and Anita, so we have all of the people working at letterpress, and then Anita comes later. We want to create some space here, maybe put some B-roll in there so that the sequence breathes a little bit and we get some context. All right, so first I want to do my shot swap. Now watch what happens if I just grab the Kelly shot and drag it over. As you can see, it covers the clips rather than swapping them. So I'll undo that, Command-Z or Control-Z on a PC. And instead, I'm going to drag to the left while holding down some modifier keys, Command and Option or Control and Alt on a PC. So this time I'm going to grab Kelly and hold down Command and Option. And you'll notice that my cursor turns into this little yellow arrow icon, which is telling me that we're extracting this shot and we're going to insert it right down here, or essentially perform a swap. Notice that it is snapping to an edit point, which I'm going to discuss in just a little bit. And also notice that my program monitor has changed. I now have 2 frames, and that's showing me the frame to the left and to the right of where I'm going to drop this. So you know that it's right on when you have 2 separate images there. But I'm going to release, and I have now swapped my shots. Kelly now comes before Doug. Now let's talk about that snapping behavior. I'm going to come over to this command right here. This is snap, or the S key on the keyboard, and you can actually toggle this on and off. By default, it is on, and that allows you to drag clips in the timeline and have the edit points snap like so. So I'll go back here. If this is not on, so I'll go ahead and deselect this, and I do the same thing, notice that there is no magnetism. Wherever I drop it, it's going to go, and I could accidentally create a flash frame as I did right here. So let me undo that, Command-Z. So most of the time, you're definitely going to want snapping to be turned on. All right, just a couple more things, both having to do with moving things around and creating space. So first, I'd like to create some space in between Doug and Anita here to open things up a little bit. So instead of holding down any modifier keys, I'm just going to click here and drag down like so, and I've created a gap. And next, I actually want to drag all of my clips downstream because I want to start this spot out with just B-roll over music, sort of a visual story of how the letterpress machines look and work, and then we'll get into all these sound bites. So I've got my music here, and I'm just going to turn on snapping and drag this right into the timeline onto A2 and release, and I'll press backslash to fit everything in. And I've already screened this, I've already listened to the music, so I know that right about 18 seconds, the tempo changes a little bit, and that's where I want to start all of my interview shots. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, ++, and I'm just going to play this from here so that you can hear that tempo change. All right, so you heard how the music changed there. I'm just going to play this and then stop it exactly where I want this to happen. About right there. So I'm just going to take all of these clips, and then when I drag, notice that it also snaps to the playhead. So it snaps to edit points, but it also snaps to your playhead, so you can use that to your advantage. And I'll release. And obviously the music's way too loud. I can fix that right now. I'll just hover over here in A2 and scroll up with my mouse wheel so that I can see my little line here. And I'm just going to drag this way down so that I can hear my clips. And I'm just going to play this and make sure I got the timing right.
When it comes to letterpress, I get giddy and excited.
All right, so we'll mix this better a little bit later when we talk about audio editing, but at least now I can hear my sound bites. And I've got all this room over here to start putting my B-roll. So as you can see, it's easy to move your clips around, whether you need to swap shots or create space in your timeline. And of course, when you're doing this, the snapping behavior is very important.